left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, launch control, and off we go. Zero to 100 in 4.4 seconds. This is the Ferrari Purosangue I, where Puro means pure and Sangue means blood, making it pure blood. Actually, Purosangue I is a breed of horses, and that's where this car's name has come from. It's a thoroughbred. The key of the car is the same as the Roma, where the color of the car and the key do not match. This is the Ferrari logo. This is to unlock the car, this is to lock the car, and there's a sticker which says that this is a press vehicle with a number on it. Doesn't this color actually remind you of Lotus cars? Anyways, Ferrari is doing a lot of different colors which are of different cars. Straight away, let's open the engine bay, which actually opens from this side. Yes, very much like the Jaguar F-Type. So Ferrari always has to get some sort of drama, and that is super duper cool. That is the engine. If you notice, the engine is all the way towards the cabin because this is the front mid engine where two of the cylinders are actually right where your accelerator pedal is, or rather in the center console. The engine is massive. It's a V12. It's naturally aspirated as well. There are no turbochargers. There's no electrification here either, which is awesome. And the kind of stuff I see in the engine bay, I've never ever seen in any other car. That's the reason a Ferrari is a Ferrari is a Ferrari. Somehow Ferrari has also gone ahead and insulated this, which they don't need to do because we want to hear more of the V12 engine, which we do. Washer fluid goes in right here. That is the chassis number, and straight away let's shut it. It's become super duper hot. This engine does heat quite a lot. The Ferrari logo there, obviously it's a Ferrari, so it will have a lot of Ferrari logos. The design will kind of remind you of the Roma to a certain extent. The engine is extremely loud. Yeah, you can hear it all the time. The indicator is functioning here at the moment. I don't know what this is, but it looks kind of funny here. So is this sort of a fake stuff? I don't know. It's so plasticky as well. This is actually the low beam. This is the high beam. You get front parking sensors. I think that is also part of the main lights. No fog lights as such. The Ferrari logo, open grille here, parking sensors everywhere. This is the front parking camera, Ferrari logo here as well. The body of the car is very, very, very interesting. I'll tell you why. Because there are these openings inside for air to channel through, which makes it very aero efficient as well. And that is here as well, around this carbon fiber finish, which is around the wheels, obviously, which is kind of amazing. This is the LED DRL. Okay, it's open here too. So Faisal Khan's fingers of truth, trying to figure out what it is, but because of the height of my watch, I really can't put my hand inside. But then it channels air over the wheels for better aero efficiency. Tires are staggered because the front tire size happens to be 255, 35, 22s. Alloy wheel design is nice, a very open design because these brakes need to pull. These are obviously Brembo carbon ceramic brakes, which are obviously amazing because this car can go fast. Has this shut? Yes, this has shut. Why am I so confused today? I have no idea. There's obviously a camera here. There's a camera there for the lane keep assist. There's also a sensor for the automatic wipers, or rather rain sensing wipers. The length of this car, almost 5 meters. I mean the wheelbase, that is almost 3 meters, actually more than 3 meters. However, it doesn't look very SUV-ish because it's not very high riding. The ground clearance is just 185 mm, which is kind of less, don't you think? Some carbon fiber finishing there as well. Now the interesting part here is this is the very first Ferrari with 4 doors, although 4-seater Ferraris have come before. I think the GTC 4 Lusso as well as the FF. Press the button and there the rear doors open automatically. These are coach doors or suicide doors. They are rear hinge doors. A lot of places I read this is actually based on the Roma platform, but I believe this is an all new platform because the Roma platform cannot accommodate this. Anyways, a lot of stuff is common with the Roma. So it's a 4-seater, 2 people can sit in here comfortably. Let me push the seat behind because obviously it reclines, and let me push this also behind. The seats are amazing. The quality is just next level here. And look at the mechanism for the door. Isn't that huge? Well, that's what she said. Let's step inside because space is actually decent. Meanwhile, under thigh support is not that great. Headroom seems to be adequate for someone as tall as me. And you get this nice treatment. The quality here is just something else. Unbelievable quality. Here you get a magazine holder, obviously. It's sort of scooped out as well. Legroom and kneeroom, not a problem. It has the tickling function, but you can't really slide your hands from here because the tickling function is actually little thin here. Now this is to lock the car. AC vents here. Some storage space here along with 2 USB-C charging sockets. There's a center armrest which does not move at all. So center passengers not welcome, but there are twin cup holders with exposed screws. Why are they exposed screws in a Ferrari? I have no clue. So these are the controls for the power windows. I press this button, this should come up. Why is it not coming up? Yeah, there it comes up. So I can operate the climate control air conditioning system from here. Yeah, I have to press a button and then I can decide what I want. So seat heating, seat cooling is there. Yes, okay, seat heating seems to be there at the rear. I don't want to heat the rear seat passenger, so I'll just shut this right now. That is the problem. It is not very intuitive to use. So this is, I think, for the sun blind. Press a button and it changes the color of the sun blind. Yeah, is it doing it? No, it is not. I can't see it right now, but it does change the color quite a bit, because there is no blind here. It's actually for the glass only it changes, which makes sure that heat does not come inside. And even in this hot heat right now of Dubai, it's not heated up, which is quite surprising and nice as well. So I think it is turned off. It's a very confusing system. I want to get out from here. I'm not able to do that. Anyways, I press this button and there it goes back down. It will remind you of older Jaguar cars, specifically the XF, where the gear lever used to come up the rotary selector and then you could move it. So that's something which is here as well. Some space, because this seat I have moved a bit ahead. Lights here on the top. To operate them you have to use a button. Which button? I don't know. Where's the button? Okay, let me just shut the door. I press the button and there it shuts. So a lot of electric stuff in this car. Meanwhile, the dashboard looks awesome, kind of like the Roma, but not really, because the center console is different and there is no center screen. No center screen in this car. Let me press this button and open the door, because I want to get out. Okay, to get out I have to press this button and there opens the door, which opens quite wide, because it opens 90 degrees almost, because it's a coach door, suicide door, or however you want to call it. The window is very thick. It's frameless obviously, and to shut it all I have to do is press this button and it will shut, or I can press it from the inside as well. Isofix child seat mount, so I'm just going to shut it like this. There, band ho jao. Yeah, there it shuts. If you notice, this thing is also very unique, the way the door handles work at the front. The key is in my pocket, so the car is ringing right now. So I'm just going to keep the key here so it does not disturb us. There's a fire extinguisher there. It says Ferrari right here. Door pockets at the front are not that big. However, it says Purosangue right there. This glove box is not opening. I think either it's malfunction or there's a setting to actually lock or unlock it. And there's this proper plate to rest your feet, because this car obviously accelerates very fast. Now that is a 10-inch screen. Yeah, that's right. It comes with a 10-inch screen for the passenger, wherein you can browse through a lot of stuff. Why is it slow? Yeah, it is actually very slick. So heated seats, ventilated seats, all those functions are obviously available. You can change a lot of parameters from here. And because this is a privacy screen, the driver cannot see anything here. It's only the co-passenger who's sitting here can enjoy the screen. Nobody else can. The seats are obviously very nice and comfortable. No adjustable headrest, but you get the Ferrari logo on the headrest, which actually adds 2 horsepower too. It gets soft close door function. There it pulls it inside. To shut it, you get ADAS. So obviously you get blind spot alert. Objects in the mirror are closer than they appear. It's written in Arabic. Thankfully, I know how to read that. And this is where fuel goes in. Very important, because this car is a fuel guzzler. It loves to drink a lot of fuel. Rear tire size is bigger. 315, 30, 23. So that is a 22. This is a 23. Massive tires. It's so massive. It's so massive. I don't know what is going over it right now. But can you see that dude taking a walk? And you get very advanced suspension as well. In fact, look at the size of the tires. Isn't that crazy huge? And you have this carbon fiber surround, which looks amazing. You get quad exhaust at the rear, which look beautiful. There's no rear wiper or washer here. It does not need it. You know why? Because they've designed the rear window in a way where I thought, has it cracked or something? Because there is this ridge to it. So it's not straight, it's curved and all those things. You get a rear spoiler. And there's a camera right here for the reverse parking camera. Now, obviously, it will push all the water down so the rear window does not get dirty at all. Sort of a connected light treatment. This is actually the brake light. The hazards are working right now, but lights are again similar to the Roma. I think they've taken a lot from the Roma here. That is actually the rear fog light. You get the diffuser treatment here. That is the reflector. You get 4 parking sensors. No, I think yes. Yeah, you get 4 parking sensors, not 6. I think something seems to be a bit damaged here. The exhaust look lovely. They're finished in sort of blackish and they're super duper hot as well. Let's look at the underbody of the vehicle. And quickly, let's open the boot, because if I press a button here, the boot opens. Says Ferrari here, there is no rear spoiler below, which auto retracts like in the case of, say, the Roma. Now, the boot is 473 liters. Being a Ferrari, it obviously tells you what all are the options on this particular car. 473 liters isn't bad. It isn't even great either. Space is there below here, because obviously it does not get a spare tire. 12-volt charging socket has been given here. And you can actually put the seat down by pressing a button. If I press a button, so I can actually tumble the seat. So before the seat tumbles, it's actually putting the driver's seat ahead or something of that sort. Let's try it on this side. Come on. Yeah, it's a bit slow to operate. My goodness, that's very slow to operate. but it will put it down. So if you want to carry more stuff, you can do that as well. Actually, you just have to press it once. I was keeping it pressed, but still it's a very slow mechanism. It takes its own sweet time, and once it's flat, well, you can convert your 4-seater Ferrari into a 2-seater with a lot of storage space. I don't think that makes sense, because then you would just get a sports car from Ferrari. So with that down, you need to move this all manually. So you can remove this manually. Okay, it's a bit hard to operate, but I will do it. The key is inside the car. Why are you ringing? Long story short, this actually comes out not a one-hand operation, but we shall still try doing it. Yeah, there it is out. So it actually slots in here, makes some clicking sound, and at this price, Ferrari, why is it not electric? Why is all this not electric? Why am I supposed to do it manually? Why do I look like a thief in front of the own car? Now it is slotted in nicely. Now I need to put this as well. Now that is done. It took some effort. Obviously, it gets a power tailgate. I press a button and there it goes down. Actually, there's a camera here. So why is there another camera here? Oh my god, this car has got multiple cameras. Stop being horny. Stop ringing so much. I am right here. I love the open air vents for better aero efficiency. Let's step inside. There is a key here. Stop ringing. Yeah, shut up. Turn off vehicle. What's the obsession of trying to conserve fuel when you know you are actually a V12 motor? Okay, I'll shut you. Okay, happy? Does that make you happy? Let's turn it on now. Okay, now it is turned on, and here you get a massive speaker. I think this is from Burmester. Memory seats are there. You can save up to 3 people settings. This is actually to open the boot. In case this mechanism fails, you have another way of opening the door using this particular thing right here. And obviously the battery manual, not for the battery, but for the battery charger, is also there in this car for no reason at all. It's kind of chintu mintu, lot of carbon fiber splashed almost everywhere. Power window controls are here in the center, which is not the easiest to use. And you know what? The windows don't go all the way down, which is quite surprising. It says SRS airbag right here. Let's get out. Let me shut the door. Frameless doors obviously look awesome. And then the window will go all the way down and then the car will start ringing again. Please keep quiet. Don't make so much sound. Says Purosangue here. Proper dead pedal right there. And I love the design of the pedals here. Auto park. I don't know what it does. Probably it will park itself. This is for the electric parking brake. I think auto park will probably engage the handbrake on its own. I'm not too sure. Controls for adjusting the seat here. But because it has memory seats, I'm just going to press a button and then you will notice the under thigh support is going inside. The seat will move now. So yeah, it has got lot of electric adjustment. But somehow, some of the things in this car are not that impressive because they don't work that flawlessly. For example, I have noticed there are a lot of panel gaps in this car which should not be the case. The panel here, see that? Oh my god, I burnt my hand. It does not really align in the same level as the panel on the other side. Well, that's one of the things. Another thing is that Ferrari has not really thought about a few things. They made this beautiful design here as well as here, but they didn't think that there should be some gap because of which this thing actually hits this thing, and that's the reason there's some sort of damage here. Yeah, so there should have been some gapping, but then Italians are not known to be the best in terms of quality. Let's get inside. Electric adjust for the steering wheel for the driver, because only the driver gets a steering wheel at the moment. This is auto dimming, and that camera I was talking about is for this particular thing. So that is what Land Rover has been offering for a long time, which Ferrari is also offering now. Controls for the lights are on the top. This is to turn off the alarm, and this is for the light control at the rear. So I'm just going to turn it on and off. There it shuts. However, you just press this button, lights turn on. Now the interesting part here is this particular sunroof, not really because it doesn't open. You can change the transparency of it by pressing a button right here. There's no center screen. So how do you operate the infotainment system? Actually, you operate it from here. But this thing raises up for the climate control, air conditioning, seat heating and ventilation is there for the front seats. But you have to do all of this from here, which is a bit cumbersome to operate. I don't know why Ferraris made things really very complicated here. There was no reason to do it. There's a wireless charging pad right here, twin cup holders, and this is for SOS. How does it open? You press it and then you can press this button for SOS. This is for the hazard lights, front power windows, rear child lock, and this thing has been replicated like a gated manual gearbox. So again, similar to the Roma. Space here is not needed because nobody is going to sit here. However, there's some storage space with 2 USB-C charging sockets and a 12-volt charging socket as well. Lot of leather treatment. The dashboard looks like very big here, and you get a mirror along with a light, a speaker. Does it look like a speaker? Yes, it's a speaker. Same is the case here as well. You get a light as well as a mirror, which brings me to all the controls of this car, which are unfortunately very haptic centric, which is not the easiest to use, because this is again very similar to the Roma. This is for the parking camera, this is for the mirror adjustment, this is for the lights. Actually not really, because the light controls are here, wiper controls are here. This is the magneto for the selection of the drive modes. This is the engine start button, gets its flat bottom treatment, and these haptic controls are really very bad, very difficult to use. Indicator placement here, because it does not get any lever, no Ferrari gets it. Get proper carbon fiber dipped paddle shifters, which are amazing to operate. And yeah, this has something known as Haley, which is not the name of a girl. It means high emotion, low emission, which is basically the stop start system. Again, they have given it a proper name to complicate stuff for no reason at all. Now, this is a 16-inch curved screen, which is actually nice, but not the easiest to use, because it's very difficult to browse through a lot of parameters. So first things first, let me shut the door and let's go through a few things here. Yeah. So again, haptic controls, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto connectivity is there. It shows everything there. I think you can change the color of the cluster to have yellow dials, and the same you have seen in other Ferraris as well. You can change stuff here as well for ADAS functions, or I think that is the G-force meter. There's a tire pressure monitor as well. So yes, it's very loaded. And when you turn off the car, it obviously will give you the vehicle information right there. No, actually it's saying Ferrari Purosangue I, and then it, oh my god, so much theater for reasons best known to Ferrari. Let's turn it on. There it rose to life. In fact, notice one thing, okay? On the steering wheel, it has this shift light indicator as well, which is not there in the Roma. But a lot of stuff is very, very, very similar to the Roma, which is both a good and bad thing, because this is a very expensive Ferrari. Meanwhile, the Roma is sort of the entry-level Ferrari, the most affordable Ferrari. There's also a heads-up display right there. So in terms of features, a lot of them are there, but quite a lot could be optional here. This is so difficult to use now. I'm not able to just operate it properly. So you get a G meter, ADAS function is there, you get trip meter. I mean, you can change the left mode as well. You can get digital speed. So a lot of stuff is available there. Let's rev it. No soft limiter revs all the way till 8,000 RPM in neutral, which means it is time to start driving. All right, it is time to start driving this car, which means let's turn it on. Let's rev it. I'm in sport mode, okay? I love the fact there's no soft limiter here, which is so soothing. Air conditioning controls are so freaking cumbersome to use. No other setting we need to get into. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Before that, we get into manual mode. We get into launch here. You have to do it separately. Then only launch works. First, you have to be in drive. Then only you can press this. Now launch is activated. If you notice, the car is actually moving. Yeah, this says that the launch is ready. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Launch, and off we go. 0 to 100 in 4.55 seconds, which is honestly more than a second slower than Ferrari's own claim, because Ferrari is like, this car goes from 0 to 100 km per hour in 3.3 seconds. Where is the 3.3 seconds? I don't know. Probably the conditions aren't that favorable for this car to go from 0 to 100 km per hour in 3.3 seconds. There's some big shot shooting happening on the left side, which means we should definitely go and spoil the party, because we can. Around the corners, this car does not feel like an SUV in any way. The kind of grip it offers is unbelievable. It doesn't feel top heavy in any way. Just mind-blowing the way it drives. Super duper awesome. And I think some people are shooting a Nissan GTR and a lot of cameras, not one but two Nissan GTRs, some sort of shooting. Oh my goodness, the amount of Nissan GTRs has made my day today. Look at the amount of cars here. But it's a Ferrari, it's a Purosangue. Everybody needs to move out of the way, because we are driving something which is even quicker and more fun. Oh my god, so many Nissans, that also GTRs. It's actually quite fun to see that. I'm going to actually go from the right side, because we are in an SUV, so I don't really need to worry of putting two wheels down on the gravel either. This Chinese has spoiled my day. I don't know why there are so many Chinese cars here in the UAE, because they are not that reliable and they're kind of ruining the whole automobile industry. But it's not about that right now. Let's go. Manual mode, red lines at 8,250 RPM. This is a 6.5 liter NA V8 engine. Okay, let's get into auto. 6.5 liter NA V12 engine, not V8. I'm so used to V8. It's a V12 motor, which is absolutely mind-blowing in the way it drives. The performance is just surreal. Top speed is 310 kilometers per hour. But we are not going there at all right now, because you need a lot of road. This is not the fastest Ferrari in any way, because it also weighs more than 2,000 kgs, but it is so soulful. It's an old school engine. This engine dates back to the Enzo Ferrari. which had a 6 litre, then the 6.3 litre came in the LaFerrari. This is actually a 6.5 litre V12 motor, naturally aspirated, no turbocharging, no electrical assist either. There is no asthma here at all. It's pure performance, and it has 715 horsepower. Meanwhile, the torque output is 716 Newton meters, which is just amazing. Now it's time to launch it again, which means we get into manual mode. We have to click the launch button here. The car goes down, squats, because that's how it works. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, launch control, and off we go. 0 to 100 in 4.4 seconds. Ferrari's claims have gone down the road, because Ferrari claims it will go in 3.3 seconds. How am I losing 1 second? It's an automatic. What else can I do? Absolutely nothing. Maybe it has to be set up to go that fast, but this car is just not going that fast as I expected it to. And the way it goes around the corners is mind-blowing because of the way the suspension has been done. It's sort of an active suspension. It has dampers which are extremely smart, and the car actually decides how it wants to work with the, oh my god, 8,250 RPM red line is just so soothing. But this is not the most powerful SUV either, although Ferrari does not want to call it an SUV. Ferrari calls it an FUV, which is Ferrari utility vehicle. They don't like the word SUV. I don't know why they don't like the word SUV. I think testimonials are going on. Yes, very good car, very good car. Nissan is an amazing car brand, but it cannot make anything like what Ferrari does. So that's a bit of a problem. Let's ruin their fun by going to the red line and making some sound, baby. Unbelievable. This car, the way it goes around corners, that's the reason why Ferrari does not call it an SUV, because it's just a high-riding sports car. It is not an SUV, it's a sports car. Trust me on this. No SUV handles like this. Not the most powerful. You know why? Because with the hybridization of the Urus makes a lot more power. So does the DBX, but the DBX doesn't even have its own engine. Not that the Urus has its own engine. The Urus's engine comes from whom? Of course, you guessed it right. It comes from Audi, from the VW group. So nothing unique on that front, but here a V12 motor, old school, which sounds so amazing. No soft limiter. The engine is the real highlight here, and the handling. The steering is so good with feel and feedback. It doesn't feel heavy, but it weighs up. It gives you so much feedback. Body roll is supremely well contained, and the way it grips is just mind-blowing. Right now we are in sport mode. There are multiple modes here. So there is ice mode. What? Ice mode in a Ferrari? Because yes, this is a very capable Ferrari which can do a lot of stuff, four-wheel drive, but more rear biased power delivery, naturally, because at the end of the day it is a Ferrari, right? So it has to give you some sideways fun, which only can happen if it oversteers, right? So we're just going to take a quick U-turn. Look at the effortlessness with which I can drive this car. I myself can't believe it that I'm driving a Ferrari, and that is the rear parking camera. I didn't think I showed that to you before, but it comes here. The problem is that you want to browse through the multiple modes. It's a bit cumbersome. See, I want to change stuff. Not really, not happening properly. Let's just click the pedal and move ahead. U-turn wasn't that bad because this car has obviously got rear wheel steering as well. I'm very frustrated with the haptic controls and where the air conditioning actually works here, but I'm just revving without getting to gear, and off we go. So there's an ice mode, then there's a wet mode, there's comfort, there's sport, there's ESC off. There is no race mode here, which means that this car is not meant for the racetrack, because obviously it weighs a lot, 2033 kg, somewhere of that sort. This car's code name I think is Type F175, and the engine's code name happens to be I think 140, something of that sort. Yeah, this engine is the most, I mean, the biggest highlight here, where everyone is doing downsizing. Ferrari is like, what the hell? No downsizing for us, because we don't really care about downsizing. We care about pure performance, and that's something which is really worth appreciating about this brand, where they do not compromise on the engine's visuals. I mean, the engine obviously looks awesome. I'm talking about the sound of the engine, which is just amazing. Now we will launch it here. Okay, let's get into manual mode. Let's get into launch. The car jiggles around, which is so amazing. Let me reset this. Now hopefully we get a better time. We are in comfort mode, so let's get into sport mode. Let's actually get into ESC off. Oh my god, the car is jiggling from behind. Now I want to get into launch, and off we go. Still 4.44 seconds, so even ESC off is not really working here, which is a bit disappointing, because I expected this car to be quite fast. It feels fast because of the V12 engine, but it is not. The V12 engine is obviously known as F140IA, which is, I don't care what it means, but it's an old school sort of an engine which really has the soul. It feels amazing. This car is not an SUV because it's not meant to off-road at all. It is meant to be driven on the road only, and trust me on this, even on these bad patches of road, even if I am in dynamic mode or rather in sport mode, the ride quality is just mind-blowing. It really doesn't feel uncomfortable ever. So Ferrari which is comfortable, which is a new thing, kya? Yes, it is. Oh my god, this thing is so cool. When it tells me how much revs I'm hitting, downshifting is so satisfying here. Every time you downshift, you realize that a gear has been slotted into another number, because this car has an 8-speed dual clutch automatic gearbox. This gearbox is similar, or rather the same as the SF90, and obviously the gear shift is super duper quick, lightning fast. You blink and it shifts. That's how quick it is. I love the rear wheel steering. Yeah, it really helps here in terms of giving me a very quick U-turn. Yeah, that's something which is obviously expected. But this is not the first 4-seater Ferrari, because there's the GT4 Lusso and the FF as well, which are obviously 4-seater ones. This is the first 4-door Ferrari. Now we're going to launch it again. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to be able to get a good time. Okay, let's do this. Why is it outside? I have no idea. I want to turn off the air conditioning. Why is it turning on? I don't know why they make it so cumbersome nowadays. Ferrari, why do you do that? Anyways, we are shaking. We are ready. And off we go. It's consistently not performing as per Ferrari's claims, which makes me disappointed. But this car is a fuel guzzler. It has a 100-liter fuel tank. It will return 2 to 3 kilometers per liter. Nothing better than that. But this is the very first SUV, although Ferrari doesn't call it SUV, but still very first kind of type of a car which actually has a nose lift function both at the front as well as the rear. Does it need it? Not really. So the development actually started in 2017. 2018, Ferrari went ahead and even announced that they're planning to launch something like this, the Purosangue, and it was launched in 2022. I don't know why it took me 2 years to get behind the wheel of this car, but here we are finally, and I'm absolutely enjoying it. But the price will blow your mind. This car costs rupees 12 crores on road Mumbai, because a lot of options are actually standard with Ferrari. A lot of stuff is always optional, but here some of the optional bits are actually standard, making the car extremely pricey. Meanwhile, in the USA, it costs around rupees 3.5 crores, under 4 crores without options. With options, obviously the price goes quite high. Pardon me for turning on the air conditioning. The car is hot, the engine heats up, everything heats up. My camera is shutting right now. It's not able to cope up. So rupees 12 crores is a lot of money when this car costs 1/3 abroad. Factor in the taxes, the optional extras, it still does not justify the price. But Ferrari is playing a different game. They're playing a game of limited supply and a lot more demand. So they're just trying to make sure that people are more who want to buy this car, and there are less people who are getting the car, which obviously makes sure that there is this craving for this car. And why not? Because honestly, this is the most practical Ferrari ever. Yeah, it is extremely practical, and that is one of the major reasons why people are running behind it. A Ferrari you can drive daily. I can drive a Ferrari 458 every day because obviously it is my dream car. But you know what? 1 crore 5 lakhs is the registration cost of this car, which is absolutely bonkers. Insurance is 41 lakhs, and that is one of the major reasons why it is so expensive. It's very expensive to run as well. 100-liter fuel tank is kind of small, although it is big, but the kind of fuel it drinks, it needs a bigger fuel tank for sure. So as I see it, the Purosangue is just amazing and is a sign of things to come. It gobbles up the competition, it gobbles up the DBX, it gobbles up the Urus as well. But then those cars are much more value for money in comparison, or rather appear value for money now, because this car is so expensive. If you like this video, make sure to give the thumbs up. That's a like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Bye bye.